Some trucks carry freight. This one carries legends. Weighing more than an entire commercial airplane, it doesn't just drive, it crushes the ground beneath it. This isn't something you see at a job site or pulling trailers down a highway. This is the undisputed king of mass, steel, and raw hauling power. The world's heaviest truck, a rolling fortress so big, so heavy, it makes bulldozers look like shopping carts in comparison. The Belaz 75710 doesn't play by normal rules. Built in Belarus, this earth-shaking behemoth was engineered for one job: moving insane amounts of rock in the most unforgiving open-pit mines on the planet. How heavy is it? Fully loaded, it tips the scales at a mind-bending 810,000 pounds. That's over 360 metric tons. It's so heavy that every movement feels like it's shifting the Earth's crust. And in a way, it kinda is. This isn't a truck you drive, it's one you command. Standing over 26 feet tall and more than 65 feet long, the 75,710 is bigger than most two-story houses. And it has two engines, not one. 265-liter diesel V16 engines working together to generate 4,600 horsepower. Why two? Because moving 800,000 pounds up a 10% incline isn't something one engine should ever try alone. These monsters run side by side, feeding a complex electromechanical drivetrain that turns energy into motion like a land-based power plant. Each of its 8 wheels is bigger than most compact cars. We're talking 13 feet tall, 11,600 pound tires, and it needs every inch of rubber because the loads it carries would flatten normal trucks like pancakes. The Belaz doesn't haul shipping containers or concrete blocks. It hauls mountains, loads of crushed ore, overburden, and raw earth, dumped into the bed by machines nearly as massive as it is. And when it moves, people stop and stare. It's not just transportation, it's industrial theater. Built specifically for mining operations in places like Siberia, Kazakhstan, and parts of South America, this truck isn't afraid of cold, heat, or chaos. It's built to run in minus 50 degrees Celsius conditions through mud, ice, and rock. The chassis, a reinforced steel skeleton so overbuilt it could probably survive a meteor strike. The suspension, hydraulic cylinders the size of telephone poles, capable of absorbing impacts that would destroy a regular semi in seconds. This thing doesn't flinch. Inside the cab, it's surprisingly tame. Climate-controlled, multi-screen dash, electronic systems monitoring every piston, wire, and brake pad in real time. But make no mistake, no matter how comfortable the chair is, this is work. Piloting the 75710 isn't like driving a truck, it's like steering a skyscraper. Every turn, every slope, every gear change demands precision, because the margin for error when you're hauling 450 tons of rock is zero. And here's the thing, this isn't some one-off prototype. The Belaz 75710 is real, in use, right now. It holds the Guinness World Record for heaviest truck on Earth, and it beat out every rival in its path. Caterpillar, Komatsu, Liebherr all tried to build bigger. None touched this. With a payload capacity of 496 tons, the Belaz isn't just the heaviest truck, it's the heaviest working machine on wheels anywhere in the world. What does it take to stop a truck like this? An entire braking system built into every wheel, plus an advanced retarder that helps slow it on declines. Regular brakes would melt, standard axles would snap. This machine operates on a scale where physics starts to bend. The wheels don't just roll, they rotate under thousands of pounds of torque, through terrain that would tear a highway to pieces. Fuel economy? Forget about it. The 75,710 burns hundreds of gallons per day, but in mining, that cost is nothing compared to the value of what it moves. This truck helps extract billions of dollars in raw materials: gold, copper, iron, fueling industries around the globe. It might look like a monster, but it's the beating heart of modern infrastructure. Without trucks like this, the world's supply chain would fall apart. And despite its size, the Belaz is surprisingly nimble. Relatively speaking, with all-wheel drive and all-wheel steering, it can maneuver through tight mine switchbacks and loading stations. Its turning radius is tight for something the size of a barn, but make no mistake, you don't want to be standing anywhere near it. The sheer pressure it exerts on the ground can crack pavement, crush stone, turn smaller vehicles into roadkill without even slowing down. There's a strange elegance to it, a beauty in the brutality, the way its engines hum like giant turbines, the way it rolls through rock fields without a stutter, the way it dwarfs every other vehicle around it, like a titan from another world. It's not trying to be pretty, it's trying to be unstoppable. And it is. The Belaz 75710 doesn't just operate in extreme conditions, it thrives in them. While most trucks slow down in the heat, struggle in the cold, or break under pressure, this thing was made for the extremes. It doesn't matter if it's hauling ore through a Siberian ice storm or grinding through triple-digit heat in the Atacama Desert. It keeps moving. Every inch of this truck is built for punishment, from the armored belly pan to the high-capacity radiators the size of garage doors. And let's talk about those payloads. The truck can legally carry 450 metric tons, but there have been stories, quiet ones, of drivers loading it past 500 just to see what it can take. It took it. Didn't blink. The frame flexed. The tires groaned. The engine snarled. But it moved. Because that's what it was built to do, haul more than anyone thought possible. It doesn't matter if the terrain is shredded gravel, muddy pit floors, or loose rock. The 75,710 chews it up and spits it out. Even the dumping system is next level. The bed is hydraulically lifted by a pair of 26-foot-long rams that can raise the box even when it's carrying almost 500,000 pounds. And when that bed lifts, you hear it. A deep mechanical exhale followed by a thunderclap of crushed earth sliding out like a collapsing mountain. You don't stand near the back of this truck when it unloads. You watch from a distance, because the splash zone is measured in meters and the force could knock a man flat. And yet, for all its weight, the 75,710 is operated by just one person, one driver, one seat, one brain controlling 4,600 horsepower and 450 tons of rolling mass. The cockpit is lined with monitors, gauges, pressure systems, and safety override switches, not just for performance, but because everything needs to be monitored. When you're operating a rig that could crush a house without noticing, there's no such thing as casual. Communication inside the mine is constant. These trucks roll on tight schedules with support vehicles, loaders, dispatchers, and safety monitors all connected by radio. But the drivers, they still do it old school. Eyes on the mirrors, ears tuned to the engines, feet trained to balance torques and traction with the kind of feel you can't teach. You have to earn it. Driving one of these isn't about speed, it's about control. There's a myth that heavy trucks are slow, and yes, the 75,710 isn't winning any races, but on a flat haul road, this thing can still reach 40 kilometers per hour. That may not sound fast, but when you've got 800,000 pounds barreling down the lane, 40 clicks feels like warp speed. If something goes wrong, the driver doesn't swerve. They aim, because dodging with this much weight is impossible. Momentum rules everything. Maintenance is its own science. Crews inspect these trucks like aircraft, daily checks, weekly diagnostics, component swaps scheduled by the hour, not just by mileage. Tires alone cost over $40,000 each. And yes, they do wear out. The fuel systems are triple filtered. The brakes, regenerative. Energy from slowing this beast is actually recycled back into the system. Because why waste power when you're moving this much steel? And then there's the size logistics. You don't just drive this thing to the job site, it's shipped in pieces. Chassis, bed, cab, tires, engines, and assembled on location by a dedicated team. You need cranes, loaders, scaffolding. Building the truck is a job in itself, but once it's together, it becomes a permanent part of the mine. These trucks don't leave. They live and die in the pit, grinding out 1,000 lifetimes of work in just a few short decades. Still, people love them, the operators, the mechanics, even the engineers that designed them. They talk about the Belaz 75710 with respect, with pride, because they know it's more than a truck. It's a statement. A monster that exists because someone, somewhere, decided that big wasn't big enough, that heavy wasn't heavy enough, that we needed to go further, and then built the machine that could take us there. It's more than a truck, it's an engineering titan. A steel leviathan that hauls half a mountain at a time and dares gravity to stop it. The Belaz 75710 isn't just the heaviest truck ever built. It's proof that when you throw out the rule book and build without limits, you don't just move mountains, you become one.